Welcome back to another video. Guys, it's a brand new year, and you know what you're supposed to do at the start of each new year? Plan your goals on how you will make this year the best, how we can all dominate and crush it together. In this video, we're gonna talk about how we're all gonna dominate 2025 together, what some of the main tenets that help me get to where I am right now, to help me build multiple seven figures worth of placement fees as a recruiter, and some of the things that I'll be focusing on, especially in the next 12 months. And I hope that you can kind of extract some incredible nuggets here and apply that to your career, to your business, or your side hustle. So without further ado, let's get into it. Step number one is one of my favorite principles to follow. It is to finish strong. Whatever you choose to do this year, whether it's a new job, a new freelance, a new side hustle, a new business, finish strong. In other words, do whatever you can to see it through. It is so easy to start something new, but it is so difficult to actually see it through. Most people, especially if they're like above average, strong performers, will typically get to 70 or 80%. And at that time, they'll just end up giving up because they're like, I can't be bothered. I don't want to do anymore. They just get bored. And many don't finish to 90, let alone 100%. So make sure as we kind of look into this year, whatever that you start, finish, right? I think that's more impressive than just starting things, which is so easy to do. So when you start a new project, a new career, a new business is talking about, do whatever you can to be like, you know what? I want to be here 30 days from now. I want to be here 90 days from now. I want to be here 6 months from now. More importantly, I want to be here 12 months from now, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years out, still absolutely crushing my sport, my hobby, my business, my side hustle, right? Do whatever you can to really have that mindset from the beginning that you're here to see it through. It's so easy to just be lucky for 5 months, be lucky for a year or 2 years. The real people that actually end up reaping the rewards and becoming super successful are the ones that are deciding to come and show up every day, every week, every month, and every year. When I started my business, I told myself, I'm gonna be here for the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I'm not interested just to do a handful of placements in the first year or two and show it off. No, I wanna actually be here for about 10 years, work my butt off, and then I'd be comfortable talking about it to you all here on social media, kind of documenting, sharing my journey. But not just that, my mind goes beyond 10 years. I'm looking at the next decade, next decade, next decade. Are you struggling with getting responses from clients? Are you an established recruiter who is struggling to break 6 figures and beyond? Are you looking to start recruiting part-time and you don't know how? Do you feel burned out and stuck spending hours and hours each day in manual tasks like sourcing and outreaching and feeling like you have no time to actually run and grow your business? I am absolutely happy to announce that we have launched our own recruitment, educational, and coaching program to help you on your journey. We made sure that everything I've learned in the past 10 years, the tips, the strategies that really helped me build multiple 7 figures of placements on my own desk with some of the best companies in the world will be included in there. We'll also be including things like how you can build an acquisition system that brings in clients every month to your agency hands-free, how you can maximize the probability of a positive close during negotiations, how you can automate and outsource your day-to-day operations so that you don't have to spend hours per day researching or sourcing, how you can figure out the new and modern way to scale your agency that minimizes risk and maximize your upside potential. And we've also included much more. The best thing about this is not only will you be getting amazing content, but we will also handhold you and be with you every step of the way to make sure that you are held accountable and you crush your goals. We'll also share with you our own tech stack, tools and plugins we actually use, plus everything else we know about automation and AI to help you save time, work smarter, and not be a slave to your business. The exciting news is that we've actually rolled this out to a select few people earlier this year, and I'm excited to see them well on the way to multiple 6 figures, with some breaking $30,000 to $50,000 per month already. So if you're interested to be a successful recruiter that can dominate in any market conditions, make sure you click on the link below to chat with another member of our team, and we're happy to chat with you to see if we can help you out. Make sure you jump on this really quickly. See you on the other side. But not just that, my mind goes beyond 10 years. I'm looking at the next decade, next decade, next decade. And I think one of the biggest tenets that helped me get to where I am, to help me start from like a $30,000 a year salary to fast forwarding to present day, we're grateful to say we've done over $5 million in overall placement fees on my desk, now scaling a successful, extremely profitable agency, is because I showed up, right? Outside of all the tactics and strategies and technologies and automations, we decide to just show up. If I don't want to, I show up. If I'm not feeling good, I still show up. If I'm feeling like I want to give up and I'm depressed and I don't want to work that day, you know what? I still show up. When people are taking the Thursdays and Fridays off, I'm working and finishing each week strong. When people decide to take half days because it's a holiday next day, guess what, guys? I'm working a full day. Sometimes sometimes not just that, I'm working longer than full days because hey, if I can put every inch into this business, I know it's not a permanent thing, but I know that whatever I do, it will allow me to outcompete all the other recruiters in my field, giving me an edge over and over and over and over again. So finish strong. Don't focus on just starting things. It's so easy to go through the honeymoon phase and be like, you know what guys, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. But the real test, the real work is, hey, are you around 6 months from now? Are you around 12 months? That's easy. What about the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? That to me is an accomplished business owner where I know it's not based on luck. It is also completely based on skill. So step number 1, finish strong. Step number 2, fail faster. Don't overthink things. Just go for it. You have to understand that like having that feeling of failure and having that feeling that people are judging you is just a construct you're developing for yourself that will prevent you from achieving your goals and your dreams. It is so easy when you're looking at a new job, a new opportunity, a new side hustle, a new school, a new program to overthink things, to like look at it 1,000 different ways. I'm all for being resourceful. I'm all for doing your research, but at the end of the day, researching will not help you accomplish your goals. It is action. Move forward and just do it. We need to do better as a society to embrace the word failure. Failure is not a bad thing. In fact, failure to me, another word for it is just testing and learning, right? When you fail at something, you may not have achieved your intended result, but you've learned a ton going through that journey. So if you try again and you never give up, you will be better and better and better, inevitably reaching your goal. It's not if, it's when. Think about anything that you learned to do in your life. When you learned a new video game, the first couple hours, you were horrible at it. But hey, the next 2 weeks, 30 days, 60 days, you're probably much better. The next year, you're probably a pro. How did you learn how to play the guitar? How did you learn how to play football or basketball? In the beginning, you were horrible at it. Guess what, guys? When it comes to business, when it comes to a job, it is exactly the same thing. Why are people not afraid of failing when it comes to picking up a new sport, but they're failing to start a new business or a side hustle, right? Again, we don't want you to be reckless. I always want to make sure that if you're going to go and start your own business, start your own side hustle, have some savings. Make sure you're in a good supportive environment. Make sure your significant other supports you. Make sure you go all in, right? Among many other variables. And assuming that you're not doing anything stupid, if anything goes wrong, it's just a learning experience where you're going to still stand back up and you're going to be like, you know what? I learned so much from that. If I'm going to do it again, I now know what not to do. I now know what to do. And you're going to be able to go a lot faster and a lot farther, right? It is absolutely the only way to learn or experience a significant jump, a level up in life, in relationships, in sports, in everything, in business. It's all about action. So stop wasting all of your time. You will never feel truly ready to take that jump, whether it's a small decision or a huge life decision, to move to a new country, to start a business, to take a job. You have to just believe in yourself and ultimately understand, hey, I've done my research, this makes sense, things check out, and then the final ingredient, take action. Don't be afraid of failure, guys. Embrace it. And I think it's like in the beginning, I get it. It could be very scary, right? Especially if you don't know what you don't know. But just remind yourself of all the things that you've learned in your life. You started the same way. And if you got back up at it and you kept trying, you will get to your intended goal. If you learn to ride a bicycle and you quit after that first attempt where you fell down, you're going to be afraid to scrape your knee again, to maybe twist your arm. And that's going to live the rest of your life in regretting, wow, I was too afraid to try again. But if you got back up on it and you tried again, you might have fallen a couple more times, but sooner than later, you're going to stop falling. Sooner or later, you're going to be able to understand how to bike straight. Sooner or later, you're going to be able to understand how to go further and faster, be able to do jumps, go off-roading, and then you're truly comfortable. The same thing is applied and applicable to careers and businesses. It's the absolute same muscle, the same experience you have to go through. Don't be afraid, guys, and just do it. This is a brand new year. Time is going really fast. At the time of this shooting, it's almost end of January. 1 month is almost already over. How crazy is that? Don't waste another month. Don't waste another day or week. Have a goal, be crystal clear, find a vehicle to help you get there, and take action. If you never give up, you will get the results. Adding one more caveat to this slide is failing faster only works if you never give up. If you fail and then you give up, you absolutely fail. You will never learn anything. You will never take that step forward to achieve your goal. So make sure that you fail, embrace it, right? Break things, move fast. But the assumption here is that you just don't give up. You give up, you stand up, you don't care about the scratches on your arms and your legs, you learn from it, and you keep moving forward. And guys, by doing so, it will absolutely help you get a step closer, a huge jump closer, let alone even helping you to completely smash your goals. goals much faster than you anticipated. Step number 3 is that you have to be obsessed. When I talk to people and they're like, hey, I want to start a side hustle or I want to start a business and I kind of want to just do it maybe an hour a day or 2 hours a day, or, I'm also doing this with like 10 other businesses, or I have so many else things going on in my life. Like, you can still be successful if you follow the right roadmap and the right training, right support. But if you want to absolutely create momentum from day one and you want to maximize your probability of achieving significant returns and success, you kind of have to be crazy, right? I think people starting businesses, a lot of us are not meant to work a 9-to-5 job, and I'm not here smashing people working at a job. Some of us are honestly wired a little bit differently, but for those that are like starting businesses, you just kind of have to want it. This is like the only course for us, and we just kind of have to make it work. And we might see things differently, we might think of life differently, but also in a different way. We're probably like a little manic, a little crazy. We're passionate, we have an idea, and we're completely consumed by it. And I think, like, especially if you're working and starting something full time, this is the mindset that you need to have and go absolutely all in. You cannot even go to sleep without thinking about your business. You can't even wake up without thinking about your business. Eating lunch, you get distracted thinking about your business, and go all in. This is the best way to go and move as fast as possible. Not just go and take a step forward. You might take like 5 steps forward. You might level up and skip levels and just hit results significantly faster. This is what makes the difference between people learning the same thing and people getting results in the first 30 days versus people getting results in the first 90 days or 6 months or 12 months. A lot of it is work ethic, but a lot of it is they're just obsessed, right? And every second, every minute of their day, if they don't have a full-time job or another obligation, they're devoting into their side hustle and work. And by doing so, it will give you a significant edge, a significant increase in velocity and speed than those just doing an hour or 2 a day. I get it. For a lot of people, all they could do is hour 2 a day, and that's fine. You can still be successful. But don't get me wrong. I think there is a time and place where if you're going to start a business, that's a huge life decision. The cards are against you. There's huge risk. If you're starting a business, you don't want to just like half-ass it. You don't want to go slowly. You want to try to go as fast as possible, break as many things, collect as much data, make really good decisions, but work your butt off and just be all in, right? To achieve astronomical results, you just have to go 100 miles an hour and establish tunnel vision on one business, one career, or project. You cannot achieve success doing 10 different jobs at the same time. You cannot achieve significant success running 10 businesses at the same time. Like, you just have to be focused and obsessed on one thing, learn it properly, and go all in, right? It also depends on what your level of success is. So for me, and this for people starting businesses or side hustle, I'm talking about serious full-time income from multiple 6 figures minimum. Actually, it should be more like $500,000 minimum to $1 million or plus. You can't honestly do 10 things well. There's no way for you to do 10 sports at the same time and be a pro at them. The same thing with instruments, same thing with any subjects in life. Like, you just have to focus on one thing, go all in, dig deep, and achieve greatness, right? And by doing so, the people that are obsessed, they're not constrained by normal hours. And even if they are, even if they have a full-time job, like, they make absolutely zero excuses. I know people who have full-time jobs, but then every second they're awake, they're devoting to their business or side hustle, and they're crushing it. They're actually going further and faster than people doing their business full-time because they're just crazy. And that's a good thing. They're obsessed. They're all in. They eat, breathe, and sleep business. And I think that's what it takes to get your business on fire. And the thing is, you have to understand, this is purely temporary. You're not going to be like this forever, but to have, like, putting all that energy in to get that boulder moving, to create momentum, requires a significant spike in just a deep focus and concentration and just maximum effort. And obviously, people doing that will go much further and faster than people who aren't, right? So someone following a typical 9-to-5 full-time on their business, of course, they can do a lot if they're efficient, they know what they're doing. But for those in the beginning who are like, you know what, it's not a 9-to-5, this is a 24/7, and they just get stuff done, they make no excuses. Like, we can talk about work-life balance later. Let's just get your business up and running. Let's hope you make a lot of money first, and then we can figure out everything else, right? So again, I think with business, you can go at your own pace. You can still be obsessed and have more of a sustainable cadence and go slower. But I think, like, in the beginning, full time, where you have nothing else to do but start your business, go simply all in. The fourth thing is, you have to understand, while there is a risk to action, like there's a risk to starting a business, there's also a risk to inaction or not doing it, right? So if you don't take a step forward, whether it's starting a new business, business, a side hustle, making a significant change in your life, and you're like, okay, that sounds too risky, I'm just gonna stay put, you have to also understand that there's also risk of you just staying put, right? Your business won't move forward. Your job won't move forward. If you don't want to get a new job, you're just staying, right? Your life won't move forward. You're not really going to get any closer to any goals or dreams if you never take a shot or go for it. You will continue wasting a lot of time figuring it out, spinning your wheels. You will continue wasting your money as well, trying out on all these different tools and thinking that you're going to find the holy grail. When it comes to starting businesses, I hear a lot of people saying, hey, if I can do this, I'll take a course. If I can do this, I will join your team. If I can do this, then maybe I will be part of your program. The irony is they've come to that conversation because they're already experiencing a pain. They're frustrated. They're not making any money. They're not hitting their goals. They're kind of somehow thinking logically, okay, well, this sounds risky. So I think the safest thing is me continuing to do what I'm doing, which obviously already isn't working. And many of them are frustrated for weeks, months, or years. And they're like, just wait till I make money first and then I'll come. And while that sounds rational, there is absolutely no guarantee you will make money because you've already proved that you don't know how to do that, which is why you've come to a conversation with anyone else out there or with us on why you want to optimize and launch your business, right? So when it comes to starting something, people typically have a goal. You want to make a lot of money, you want to achieve freedom, you want to support your family, you want to retire mom and dad. None of these things are going to happen if you don't do anything. And kind of like if you have a job right now, right? And you're like, you know what? I really want to think about starting another job, but I'm just going to stay put because I'm afraid of putting myself out there again, going through the interview process. I'm afraid I'm gonna get rejected. But if you decide to stay put, you're also risking hurting your career, your emotional well-being, your psychological welfare by possibly staying at a company that has a toxic environment. You have a toxic relationship with your manager that's perhaps underpaying you or using you, right? There is a risk to everything. So I think in life, good decision or bad decision, any decisions have risk. But if you want to like reach that next level, if you want to learn how to learn a new skill, start a new business, yes, there's an absolute risk. So for me, I want you all and myself to take calculated risks. But at the end of the day, you have to take that leap of faith because if you don't, you will just continue to stay where you are. And then the question is, are you okay with staying where you are for the foreseeable future, right? And usually if you have an ideal scenario in mind or a timeline in mind, realistically, you're going to probably take 10 times longer to achieve your goal, 10 times longer, and it most likely will be 10 times more difficult too. So for me, it's a brand new year. Whatever that you want to do, whatever you want to accomplish, go for it. Be smart about it. Don't be reckless about it. You know, be sensible, do your research, but take action. And just understand that while there is a risk, what I've talked about before, for any reason that doesn't work out, you will learn from it, you will get smarter. But there's also a significant risk of you just not doing anything where, hey, your life where it is right now will continue. And especially if you're running a business or you're facing significant difficulties or headwinds and you really want to make good progress on this year, like it's really, really important to understand like, hey, time is of the essence. Like I can't afford another 5, 4, 3, 2 more months paying for tools and making no more revenue. You got to figure it out now. And if you haven't figured out in the past 3 months, a month, 6 months, what makes you think you're going to figure it out in the next month or 2 or 3, right? So just a huge, huge, huge awareness of make sure like there is a risk to things. Don't be stupid. Do your research, fail forward, embrace, and take absolute action. And don't be afraid to believe on yourself and bet on yourself to get a step closer to your goal. The last thing that I want to talk about that I see a lot is you have to be careful of being busy, right? It's so easy feeling busy, but if nothing is being produced on your desk, if you're not making any revenue, you're not doing any placements, you're not hitting any milestones, that should be a massive, massive red flag. Then it's just a justification of you thinking that you're being busy, but you're actually wasting time and your life's not going anywhere, your career is not going anywhere, or your business is not going anywhere. So it's very important to be aware that if you're busy, what are you busy doing? Is it really like just spreading yourself out thin, thinking you have to do a million of these things, feeling like you had a huge work day, and you're like, oh my God, I had such a good work day, I had such a good work week, I had such a good work month, with awareness and being open to just critically be objective about yourself. Like, have I accomplished anything? Has my business actually moved forward? Have I actually made money? I think like when it comes to starting side hustles or businesses, finance is not everything, but it's super important. And without overcomplicating it, an easy way to just audit whether you are on the right track or not is like, am I focusing on activities that are actually pushing me to be able to make money? And if it's not, you're probably not focusing on the right things. You're probably focusing on tangents that you should not have been focusing on during your normal business hours. So it's absolutely important to audit your time and effort and make sure that you only focus on things that are actually money producing or actually pushing the needle for your business. Does it make sense for you to spend a week on coming up with the right logo for your design, find right logo or right name for your business? Or does it make sense for you to like, fill up your day talking to accountants or, buying all these different tools or ATSs or CRMs or talking to friends? Like none of this is actually moving your business forward. In recruitment, it's very simple. Find clients, find cans, putting them together. Ideally, find clients first, then find cans, and then put them together. If you're focusing on a lot of things that have nothing to do with literally these two things, you are most likely spinning your wheels, kind of really intentionally trying to make yourself busy, but actually wasting time and wasting your business and wasting your day. And so just after each day, look through what you've done. And if it's small things or secondary things or creative things or things that are not important, do what you can to put them in the morning or early evening, or maybe in the weekends, and focus on that. But your main business hours of each day should be focused on, hey, am I making money today? Am I a step closer to making money today? Or like, is this partnership really going to push the needle for my business? Or is what I'm doing right now actually meaningful or impactful in what I'm trying to accomplish? As an entrepreneur, one final thing after doing this for almost a decade, it's so easy to buy into the hustle culture as an entrepreneur and feeling like I'm so busy. And because of that, you're gonna miss a lot of important life experiences. And while I know that like hustling really, really hard there's a time and place for that, especially if you're starting out in the business, brand new, you gotta like hustle 24/7, be manic, be crazy, be obsessive, but make sure that if you're gonna miss really important things in your life, like, big milestones of friends or family, meaningful life experiences, and you're going to miss it because your excuse is being busy, just make sure you're busy for the right reasons, right? And if you're busy and you're actually doing things that you think is important, but it actually is not doing anything for your work or your business, then that's kind of like a lose. Like your business is not going forward, your work's not going forward, you're missing out on important things in life that you might end up regretting. You can never get that back. So it's so easy to fall into like this mental slide of just being busy, and then 5 years go by, 10 years go by, and you're like, oh my God, was it worth it at the end of the day? So I think it always is worth it if you're focusing on the right things and you're not hustling 24/7 forever. But just make sure if you're gonna really be all in and obsessed and be all consuming, and you have to kind of put other things in your life to the side, it's a win-win instead of an absolute lose-lose situation with just regret at the end of the tunnel, which is a horrible place to be. So guys, these are a lot of things I've learned over my 10 years. I am a continued student. I will continue to utilize these, put them into practice for this year and many more things moving forward. I always want to learn and continue to challenge myself, and I'm grateful for what we were able to do in the recruiting space, but just very excited to what else we can do, how else we can grow and evolve with myself, but also with you all here that's taking the time to watch this video. So I hope that you're able to take some things for this video. If you have anything to share, please let me know. Or if you find some of these points really, really helpful, also please let me know. Always here to give as much value as possible, but let's make 2025 awesome. Let's make it an year that if you're gonna go all in, be committed. Don't be afraid to fail. If you're gonna fail faster. Send out those emails, send out those cold calls. Like, take that action. Don't be afraid. The first 5 of them, the first 10 of them is gonna be very difficult. You're gonna feel very uncomfortable. It's gonna get easier and better over time. And you're gonna be like, you know what? I made it more of a bigger deal than it actually was, right? And again, make sure you are on top of your time management. Be busy, but be busy on the right things. And let's just continue to show up, build a business for a long term, and can't wait to hear a lot of the success stories from you all. So appreciate it again. We'll see you on the next one.